There are two idioms. Focus. Hi. There are two idioms that I am familiar with. I guess you could maybe call them metaphors if you really wanted to. But mostly idioms. Curiosity killed the cat, and the cat's out of the bag. Two idioms that feature cats, and I have to wonder, is it the same cat? Are we talking about the same cat here? Because when you think of it the other way around, if the cat got out of the bag, it was curious, right? Cat's out of the bag, wanted to see what was out there, and then whoop-ha! It's dead. Curiosity killed the cat. So is it the same cat? I don't know. But what I do know is a little bit about the origins of these two idioms. The first one that I'll talk about is the cat being out of the bag. The origin of this has to do when traders, I don't know what time period it was, but we were still using ships as our primary form of transportation for trade. So I have to believe it was like 1800s-ish, maybe mid-1800s, 1850s. Perhaps along the East Coast. But livestock farmers would sell pigs. And after they made the sale, they would, as they had paid or received the payment, they would do some sort of sleight of hand while their buyer was getting the payment ready, and swap out the bag the pig was in, canvas or burlap or something like that, for the bag the cat was in. Now, if you know anything about pigs and cats, you know that they're not really the same size. Like, maybe a large house cat and a very small pig could possibly be mistaken for one another. But even then, their shape is different. Pigs are much rounder and denser than a cat is. And so, I'm not really sure how this worked, but they would swap out the pig for the cat. And then they would hope that the cat didn't get let out of the bag too soon, or the secret wasn't spoiled. And that's what the idiom "to let the cat out of the bag" means, is to spoil a surprise or to let a secret slip. So there's the origin of that one. So the cat's out of the bag, whether by its own devices or somebody else opening the bag to look. The second one is curiosity killed the cat. And there's a little bit more kind of argumentativeness around this one. But the story that I found most appealing is this lady owned a cat, and it liked to climb up on top of the bookshelf, I guess. And one day it decided not to climb on the bookshelf, but to climb up in the fireplace. And she lived in an apartment building, so like all the fireplaces were like interconnected with different flues. And so the cat was sitting on top of the flue, and it climbed too high, and they couldn't get it down. So they decided to try to open the flue, and it still wouldn't come down because it climbed higher. It was like curious about like what was higher. So they got like the police department and the fire department and all that to go up high on the roof and try to come in from the top and get the cat. Well, in all this hustle and bustle, the cat like fell down the back of the chimney, like that dropped all the way to the first floor, and like hurt its back. And so then when like the first floor, like the building superintendent or something, like finally fished it out of like the main fireplace area, it died like a few minutes later because it had hurt its back in the fall. So curiosity ultimately killed the cat, but it wasn't a direct relation. But it could very well have been the same cat that got let out of the bag in the first place. The cat's out of the bag. So those two things, it was funny to me that two idioms that have been around for generations both feature cats, and I wondered if they were the same cat. So let me know if you have any other stories for these idioms or some others about where they came from, where they originated, and why we still use them today and how they're still relevant. So, yeah, leave me a comment and let me know. I'll see you this afternoon.